Zcash was the trade of 2025, clearly going from $40 up to $700 in just a few months. Look at that, from September to here. Now, normally for crypto, this goes bust and then we never hear about it. But no, because it was also the trade of 2026. And if you started to invest on the 1st of January every day until now, you will be up massively on Zcash. And this is an important trade because it represents so much more thing in crypto. And we're going to see who is backing Zcash, who is behind it, why it keeps going up when maybe you didn't hear many investors around you talking about it or having it, not like Dogecoin or anything like that. And also, there's a way where you can buy your Zcash for cheaper than what's on the market. And Wall Street has been using it under your own eyes, and you could be on that. But that's what I want to go on, and why, like, the privacy coins are important. What do they actually represent and what we can do with it? So Zcash, I talked about it a few times. We saw it on the channel here. We had it 8 months ago, 9 months ago. And remember the first time we talked about it was around $240. So still it went way up. After that, of course, I talked about it before in my Telegram and all that. So I've been in that trade for quite a while, and privacy coins are interesting. So that's the thing. Zcash is no longer only a privacy coin narrative. So we had different public filings and now show investment firm, a NASDAQ treasury company, a regulated investment vehicle, and independent engineering teams committing capital or infrastructure to Zcash. And that's where it's different. So first, the Winklevoss Capital disclosed a $51 million investment into Zcash. So that's a 13D, And Winklevoss Treasury, the brother Winklevoss, is the guys who supposedly created Facebook, or had the idea or talked about it with Mark Zuckerberg, and then he went on his own way and built it. That's like the story. But then after, they went on and built Gemini, which is one of the biggest crypto exchange in the US, and they have a massive fortune, and they've been in crypto for a while. So their investment treasury paid $51 million for a securities in the company that became Cipherpunk. And the position included equity, pre-funded warrants, strategic ownership, and board nomination right. So the Winklevoss twins, they're like, people like them. Like that's the report, sorry, the document showed. Like, I did some Clanker research, so that's the link we have. But that's the XML. You can go into it. They probably have a HTML version, but that's all the data you need to understand, and the value per share that they had, the Winklevoss Capital Fund. So now what is that? And we are going to enter it because this thing is important, because Cipherpunk now reports 321,000 Zcash, and it's funded the wallet team. So the company's live investor dashboards reports a treasury equal to almost 2% of the circulating Zcash circulating. Like, to give you an idea, the strategy fund, MicroStrategy, if you remember the old name, they own about 1% of Bitcoin. So those guys own 2% of Zcash. It's way bigger. And they did investment as well in Zcash Open Development Lab, the company behind the Zodl wallet. That's the main wallet used for Zcash. So we have two different bets, holding Zcash and owning equity in a company building Zcash infrastructure. Like, a company owning 2% is huge. It's not something small. And that's why we need to understand, okay, now we have one big one, but it's not the only big one. So we have Naval, who talks about it, Naval Ravikant, that describes Zcash as an insurance against Bitcoin. Because the difference is Zcash, first you have privacy. So that means, like, when you're sending me some Bitcoin, I can know how much Bitcoin you have in your wallet. I can know the whole history of what you traded. When you send some Zcash, we can do what we call shield, which means it make it invisible and almost impossible to track you back and to know everything you had. So that is the privacy element. And then the second thing is that Zcash can evolve faster. So we don't know yet about quantum resistance, so I can't pronounce myself on it. We're probably going to get more information later on that. However, I know one project that's going to make a lot of noise in the coming 6 months, probably, that he's quantum resisting. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on that. I will put it in my Telegram because this is way higher risk and I can't make a video now because if we get like thousands of people going onto an opportunity that is so young, it could destroy the opportunity or make it go too fast. So we want to go smooth. And now, who backed the builders? So when you understand an infrastructure like this, the investment side, there's owning the coin. But what we always need to look at is what is around it. Who is building on top of this infrastructure blockchain and who is backing them? Because you cannot know all the investments into a coin, particularly this one, which has a lot of privacy features, which make it harder to understand what's going on, right? But here, what we can see, and there's some updates that we will talk about later on, is Zodl. So that's one of the main things. Zodl, we had Cipherpunk official announcement, says it's 5 million Zodl investment, was made alongside several major technological and crypto investors. So these firms back Zcash wallet and protocol company. It's not a direct purchase of Zcash, but we could understand that probably if they invest in it, they believe in the protocol and they're going to do something about it. So you have A16Z, Winklevoss Capital, Coinbase, Paradigm, Chapter 1, David Friedberg, Balaji, Hassan. I'm sorry, bro, if I butcher your name. You are invited on the podcast if you want to talk about this investment into Zodl. But we have a bunch of VCs that are in it. And VCs is a really it's, how could we say that in a proper way? Because it's a family tree in circle. That's what VCs are. Like it's a tight community because there's only a few billionaires in the world, right? And they're going to share information together. And a lot of people copy those VCs and they have a lot of influence. So that's the same. Like when you see a bunch of VCs into it, bunch of influential people, then of course the retail and everything don't know for sure about it directly, but then it propagates. So that Cipherpunk is on the stock market with the ticker Cyph. And that's the one where you can buy literally cheaper. I'm going to go into the calculation later. But you can see every time they bought. So here on the 17th of July, on the 14th. So their average purchase price is $341. Okay, that's what they have. They have 2% of the network. So the stock now is at $0.71. And actually their NAV, so what they have, the net asset value, is 0.81. Look at that. We get another information coming right from the live. Leap Therapeutic is also a subsidiary of Cipherpunk. So Leap Therapeutic, has rebranded as Cipherpunk Technology and changed its NASDAQ ticker from LPTX to Cyph, November 13, 2025. So they went onto drug development to a digital asset treasury. The FBI agent is back. And that's March 9 that they did the investment into Zodl. That's the wallet. And why would they invest in a wallet? A wallet is important function of a blockchain because that's where all the transactions appear. And most of the wallets, their business model is usually to take a tiny percentage of transaction. But that's not where the money is in a wallet. A wallet is actually a distribution network. So once everyone uses the wallet, if you push a product or something on it and you distribute to everyone who owns this application, then you have directly your distribution. And that's why it's important to have that. In companies, we love that. It's like if you think about MetaMask, Rabi, or whatever, like because they have all this network of people that hold their money on it. First, every transaction they do, there's a tax on it, a micro tax if they decide to do anything with it, like swap and everything. But also later on, that's what I mean. You can do whatever you want on distribution. And now that's not the only thing. We have one company we know that own 2% is being held by, they've been investing into Zodl, and we know that a lot of people are also into that one, and it's like really influential people, because virality is actually not how people think. It's not like 100 people sharing about one thing. Virality is one person that is followed by hundreds of thousands of people that share one thing. That's how something become viral. That's like if you study super spreaders, that's exactly what it is. That's one thing. It works with humans, and it works as well with attention. So we have the investment Grayscale Zcash Trust is 220 million wrapper. So Grayscale live product page report 211 million of asset under management into the SEC filing, which is quite a sizable thing that reports around 400,000, Zcash. And again, here we have something where the NAV per share is $43.9, while the market price is $38. So you have a discount of 13%. That's the data, and you can back this data. You can verify everything. Yeah, you don't need to ask me for it. Like it's literally here. Asset value per share and then market price. Now this thing is something that we can probably study with the Bitcoin ETF premium that was a trade for a while. Now I don't know if it's still a trade, but there's definitely something here. Now, don't expect that, oh yeah, because you do that, it's going to work. No, it's not because there's a gap in the market that it's going to fill. It's going to get filled. Like many times, it's not about being right. It's just the crowd that's going to choose. And then there's also DCG. They disclosed a 10.78% position in Grayscale Zcash Trust. So the trust, we have that. Also confirm they have 500,000. So that's inside it. And that's the here. So DCG is the Digital Currency Group. It's an investment company focused in crypto. If you check their portfolio, it's tons of company. Some you may know, some you may never have heard of, but BitSensor, you know this one. First investment in 2021, so they must be good with that. Like, look at that. We have BitPay in 2013. So they've been on this for ages. Brave. Like, it is one of the big fund. So in 2021, they had 50 billion assets under management. It's crazy. That's how big they are. And they are also in this. They bought in March 2026. And then there is the security coalition. So Ironwood is being delivered by 5 independent teams. Shielded Live says Ironwood was built collaboratively after a critical ORCAD vulnerability that was discovered and fixed. Because there was something that was found in Zcash that could, we don't know if it did, print unlimited amount of Zcash. And that caused the price to drop drastically. It went like boom. But actually it was a correction of a bug. And we know that with AI, it was like with a model similar to Mythos. So we know with AI, a lot of the blockchains we know are going to get wrecked. Like it's going to be probably another year where we see many hacks happening. So the upgrade seals the original ORCAD pool and restore independently a verifiable supply soundness. So this one, we have Shielded Lab, Zcash Foundation, Project Tycoon, and Vala Group. And this network upgrade will happen around July 28th. So that's really soon. And now why it went back up, I don't know if people have some information that is actually working pretty well or whatsoever, but we had a really fast recovery because from June 7, in basically almost a month, we are back almost at where it was before. And that's the beautiful thing that happened here. That's the Ironwood if we want to really dig deeper. So they say as a result, if any counterfeit Zcash exists, it will be unable to continue circulating within ORCAD or be moved into another pool. User will not need to wait for funds to migrate, determine whether the vulnerability was exploited or trust health assessments. By running a node, they will be able to verify for themselves that no more than the correct amount of Zcash can be circulating. So they basically have the fix. And if there was someone who did unlimited print of it, well, bro, it's time to cash out because you don't have it anymore. Like it's going to be done in like 8 days. The thing is like the network as well is been growing. So the official network page reports the amount of Zcash inside shielded pools. That means people who decide to activate privacy mode if we simplify it, and the current block reward allocation supporting miners, independent grants, and community control lockbox. So we have 4.4 million Zcash in shielded pools, 8% block reward to community grounds, and 12% block reward to lockbox. You have all the detail here, and the max supply of Zcash is the same as Bitcoin, is 21 million. The total supply now circulating is 16.8 million, while Bitcoin is already at 20 million. It's crazy that we only have 1 million Bitcoin to mine now. So when you see that 5 million is shielded, that's good. And then also it means that people are probably going to hold it for longer. So Zcash has three kinds of backing capital builders and protocol. They have the Winklevoss Capital, finance the public treasury strategy, Cipherpunk, hold Zcash and funded Zodl. You get a Grayscale package, ZEC investors, while DCG hold a disclosed stake in that vehicle. Zodl backers finance product developments. 5 engineering organizations are shipping Ironwood, and the network is self-disclosed funding for grants and the future community allocation. And that's probably why you see a lot going on, because let's be honest, I'm not gonna choose a side here. That's not the point. I'm invested already. But when you see that a project is actually finding vulnerabilities and fixing them, isn't it better than a one that doesn't find vulnerabilities and lets some people exploit it and then pretend nothing happened? That's what has been happening in crypto before. And now we see something different. So I know that privacy coins are going to be even bigger because of everything that happened and because of how it's going to be easier to track all of your movements that you had on chain. Now, as I say, there are some other coins that will be interesting. I know one. And then after, if Zcash is an insurance to Bitcoin, that one is an insurance to Zcash and Bitcoin. And that's why I'm in it. I will try to tell you more when I can. It will be in the Telegram first to have a smaller amount of people on it. And then, of course, we will see some video. Now, let me know in the comments if you plan to get some Zcash or not. I will put your link as well if you want to buy some Zcash, of where to buy it. And I have to tell you one thing, please, stay handsome.